Hey, what is up guys? So some new things are happening over in the EU Yu-Gi-Oh scene. This is going to be taking place at the YCS Prague, but it is something we can consider at perhaps other events in EU, but I'm not sure if we're getting any of this in the NA. So that said, regardless of what happens with this, I think it is a step in the right direction, but here are my thoughts on it because a lot of you guys have been asking me my thoughts on the new Titan security at the new YCS events, specifically in the EU. But like I said, I don't know if they're doing this in NA, they're technically different. But anyways, this is going to be happening on February 27th and 28th this year in February for YCS Prague. That's the events that's going to be taking place. If you guys want to know more information about YCS Prague, I'll link this also down below in the description box, and here's like the venue location for any of you guys that want to attend. But this is really important because if you guys go there, you're going to want to actually understand some of this stuff. So anyways, I'm going to give you guys like the too long didn't read version of everything, but for the most part I do have to cover like a little bit of everything because it is kind of required. So anyways, it says due to recent incidents that have been taking place in Europe, this event will have increased security measures compared to normal. So all persons attending Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Prague are restricted to one bag per person inside the venue. All bags will be checked upon on the entrance. A free cloakroom will be offered at the entrance to the venue. If you guys are unfamiliar with what the heck a cloakroom was, no, they're not gonna cloak your stuff so you can't see it. It's like StarCraft, okay? A cloakroom is basically, usually what it is, it's a curtained off room, and other players will not be able to enter it. Basically, only the judges and like the staff will be able to access that room. It says players will have to check their bag into the room before entering the venue itself. No bag will be allowed within the event hall itself. That's actually pretty big, so keep that in mind. If you're going, you have to be able to leave your bag in that cloakroom. Duelists can only bring their decks, game mats, and anything else required for playing. So I'm guessing that's like coins, maybe dice. That would be something that's relevant. It says players will not be allowed to bring their trade binders into the main hall. So I know a lot of players will be like, what? You can't even trade it. Okay guys, remember it says the main hall. So if you guys haven't been to a YCS or any event, there's this main area where people duel, and then there's usually like a hall or outside area. Again, not the main hall, but it's usually there's like an outside area, not outside of the event, but it's outside of the main event area. So think of a house and think of it like the kitchen. The kitchen is where everyone is going to play. Obviously, there are other rooms usually. Sometimes they do side events in other rooms, but for the most part, the main event, like, you know, the YCS top decks, you know, the main event, that is where you cannot bring your trade binder. And there are separate places, of course, that you will be able to trade. It says there will be a designated area assigned for the trading of cards. It just makes it a lot easier for the judges, I would assume, because if you guys didn't know, sometimes a lot of players like to watch and they like to trade during that time, and sometimes it just can get out of hand with the amount of clutter that goes on, and so it can kind of clear up some of the areas. So I think that that is a smart move, simply because it can get really clustered if you have everyone trading and talking and stuff like that. But anyways, it says there should be should there be a reason to expect a safety risk to players visiting Prague, Konami reserves the right to cancel the event and are not liable for any travel costs in such case. So this was a huge deal when I think it was like during the France event, when I think it was the bombings taking place. There was an event that was canceled, and like that's not Konami's like fault if, you know, they decided to cancel the event due to them wanting to ensure the safety of other players. That technically is like good PR in one sense, but it does suck if you happen to book a flight, you know, in advance if it happens. I don't think that they should be liable for your travel costs if they decide to cancel the event. But anyways, it says due to is update information, due to recent events, increased security. It says you will be asked by security personnel to open your bag and show its content. You will also be asked to open and take off your coat or jacket. A lot of players were like, what is this YCS concentration camp? Okay guys, you have to remember this is all additional extra effort that they're going through to try to make it a little bit better and safer for you guys. It's not that they want to just add all of this stuff, add extra security measures just to be charged, because they're probably going to have to pay or give out, you know, booster boxes to the people that are working at this event. If you are a judge, you already know that you get booster boxes, and sometimes you get paid for lunch and stuff like that. But this is all additional stuff that they're trying to make it better. It says in the entrance hall there'll be a cloakroom available free of charge. So that's really good. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys have been to like Comic Cons or some comic conventions, but they will charge you for using their like storage, so to speak. And it says you are required to leave your bag and coat in this room before entering the main hall itself. Duelists will be provided with a token to redeem their personal belongings. Again, this is all additional extra work on their end. It says duelists allowed to bring their decks, game mats, and something to drink into the main hall. Clear plastic bags will be allowed to carry in these personal belongings and provided on site. And any required items of medication may be required. That these are also checked by security personnel. Please leave everything else in the cloakroom. Bags will not be allowed in the catering area on the balconies. All items are left at their owner's risk. Konami Digital Entertainment does not accept responsibility for the property stolen or damaged. So, the rest of the information is just like the times and stuff like that. It's not really relevant. It's not something that is new, but that right there is where a lot of people were really upset. And here's the way I see it. So, whenever there is a site that lets you store something in a locker, or you have to store it at some type of front desk, I usually don't feel comfortable with myself doing that. Of course, I don't think that anyone working at Konami in the staff or a judge is going to steal their stuff, but sometimes things happen. Maybe someone else that is trying to steal something gets through, they slip through that cloak, what do they call it, the cloakroom. Someone can slip by and they can take your stuff. Konami's just trying to cover themselves. A lot of people are up in arms about this. That's pretty standard if you read any like NDA or a lot of other things that it's basically used at your own risk. Although one thing that I don't like with this is that it is technically required if you want to participate, but at that point just don't bring those to the event. Maybe leave them in your hotel, maybe leave them at a friend's house. Don't bring your stuff to that main hall, because you will have to check in your bags. As players will have to check in their bag into this room, and no bags will be allowed into the event hall itself. So if you're just going to trade, hey, don't worry about that. You can still bring in your bags. It says the event hall itself. Obviously, if you want to trade, there's areas where you can do that, and you don't have to really worry about that. But a lot of people are really upset, and like I said, I can understand because myself, I don't really like having someone else hold on to my stuff, especially if it's a trade bundle that has, several hundreds or even thousands of dollars in cards. But for the most part, I think that it is a step in the right direction. But here's the problem that I have with this, because I know you guys wanted my opinion on this. The people who steal stuff, they don't care about any of these rules anyways. They're not going to be like, oh, okay, if I don't have a backpack to store all the stolen stuff, I'm just not going to go ahead and steal. That's not the logic that happens. I know at a YCS event, what happened was someone summoned tour guide, and someone just walked up to the table, grabbed it off of the field from like two other people dueling, and just ran out because the door was relatively close to where those two guys were dueling. So at that point, you can't really have any security measures that can prevent someone just walking up to the tables where people are dueling and just take a card and just off the field and just run straight out. I know it sounds crazy, but I know what happened. But the thing is, I think that if they want to increase the security measures, if you're watching this, Konami, but because I know that they have watched my videos before, but one excellent idea, and let me know what you guys think of this, is just to have security people at each of the doors that are closer to the exits from the main event itself. Obviously, there's one way down the other hall. Maybe, it'd be nice to have one at each exit, because usually what happens when people steal is they steal and then they'll run away. And obviously, if you have some guy security seeing someone run and someone else chasing them, they're gonna be like, wait, hold on, like maybe a rule would just be like no running in the event. Obviously, the people that steal are going to run anyways, and at that point, the security guy can just block the door and say like, oh, you can't exit, therefore they can catch the guy. I think that'd be an excellent way to do this, because making it so there's no bags allowed into the event hall itself, and you have to check in your bag, that's a lot of extra work that you guys are doing, and I understand that. And especially if people are given a token, sometimes people go to crazy extents to actually steal stuff. They'll like make a fake token, or if they find out how to like change the numbers on a token, maybe if they happen to have a Sharpie or something, they can make a number look like another number, and they can redeem someone else's bag, which is, I know, a horrible thing to do, but there are always things that people do when they're trying to steal stuff that can outskill and outplay, outsmart, the people that are just trying to be honest and just trying to give the guy the correct bag. Because, like I said, having someone to check the bags upon entrance, having someone else to go through and give out the tokens and return the tokens to give you, you know, your correct thing. It's great that it's free too, like that they're really trying. I don't think this is any way malicious. A lot of you guys like, wow, Konami is so crazy, YCS concentration camp. They're not trying to make it harder for you guys for the sake of making it harder. They're trying to help you guys out, and again, they're dividing their resources and their income to giving out, you know, a better chance at security. But like I said, I think that the more appropriate way to do that is just have a security guy at each door, and then once you know, something happens, you're able to try to, you know, circumvent that and prevent that from happening. But that's my thoughts on it, because I know a lot of you guys wanted my thoughts on it. I don't know, again, if this is going to happen to NA. EU and NA are technically different, but if they maybe see good results from this and they get a lot of good PR from this, they could technically implement it into the NA. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on it down below in the description box. The comment section box, because I'm actually interested to see if you guys have any ideas on how to actually sort of improve upon this, or your thoughts in general. I don't think anyone is really going to not attend a YCS just because of this. I know some people are like, oh, I'm not going to go. You know, some people say, I'm not going to play because pendulums are out. You know, there are some people that just, you know, are too upset at a certain thing. But anyways, like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But anyways, guys, make sure you guys give that like button a titty slap. It's been your boy, Will Smith, signing out.